Welcome back, everybody, to We the People with John Allen and Mark Hutnick. Tonight, we're talking a little bit about real estate, and Mark is going to tell us a little bit about how he got started or how you can get started in real estate, or a combination of both. After that, he's going to talk a little bit about refinancing rentals. And then lastly, after that, he's going to talk about, what was the third thing? I almost forgot. It skips my mind.
I don't remember anymore, but
right,
we'll just go with it.
But we'll go with it. All right, so Mark.
So getting started in real estate, before I started myself, I never really went through the actual closing process on buying a house. What I did know was realtors make commissions, so I didn't really trust a realtor to give me advice on buying a house, because no matter what, they were gonna, whether I made money or lost money, they were still making their commission. So right now, I found a good realtor, and I trust them with everything when it comes to me buying a house or selling a house. So once you find one, it's good, but getting started, it's really hard to trust them. So I went to real estate school. While I was in there, I learned the language of buying houses and stuff like that. And then I started scoping the MLS, which you can't really. I think now you can start, now that the rates are going up, you can start scoping the MLS for deals now. But to actually pull the trigger on the house, I put everything on the line. So I did have my personal house. I had a little bit of equity in it. So while I was in realtor school, I learned about home equity loans. So I went and got a home equity loan and some 0% credit cards before I even finished my class, which was I think it was like a 6-week course or something like that. I ended up finding a house on the MLS that I was able to pull the trigger on, but it was very hard. I knew I was very confident in the ARV because I was taught how to comp my own houses. I ran it past multiple realtors about what they thought the selling price of that house would be once it was fully flipped. But the day before closing, I was still having panic attacks. I couldn't sleep, and I was just scared and ready to back out. But once I finally pulled that trigger, every house after that it got easier and easier after that. So my advice to people trying to get into flipping is make sure you pull that trigger. You can go to classes, you can get all the knowledge that you can know everything about real estate. Real estate changes all the time. If you can't pull that trigger, you'll never get in the game. Like if I never pulled that trigger on that first house, I would still be working a 9-to-5 job.
I think it's something essential that you said too. You were committed enough to take real estate classes. All right. So if you had the type of personality, don't make you a bad person, but if you got a personality where you have a hard time committing and giving up something on the front end to yourself to see something later on the back end, this may not be for you.
Yes, I have a lot of people that want to sit down and have lunch with me, go to breakfast, buy me coffee, and I always advise them to either start real estate school or go to these local real estate meetings. And I can tell you what, out of the 100 people I told, 200 people I told, I've probably seen 3 or 4 people that actually went. So they're still at their 9-to-5. The 3 to 4 that actually went to the classes, maybe 1 or 2 of them are actively flipping. Antonio's one of them. So.
Yeah, I remember when I met Antonio, he thought I was trying to break in his project. I was a broker on a house that I sold to a client, and the client asked me to come back and add a bathroom to the house. And later, the new buyer, the new owner, had Antonio doing the electric and maybe cameras or something. And I came and knocked on the door when I saw the activity because I saw his truck. And he said, "Hold on, something. Hold on a moment. There's some guy probably trying to break in." He opened the door. "What do you want?" And that's how I met Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah. We happen to have a caller. Okay, we're going to take the caller, and then we're going to go right back in. Caller, how you doing? Thank you for calling We the People.
Yes, thank you again. So when you're talking about flipping houses, can you discuss the importance, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in flipping houses, you have to get the house, flip it, and get it sold before the first mortgage payment is due. How important is that? Or if I'm incorrect, please correct me. Thank you.
So no, you don't there's different kinds of money in real estate. So a lot of the money that I get from, from my flips is what they call private money. I go out there, I go to these real estate meetings, I find people out there that have cash looking to deploy on real estate projects. Um, what I end up doing is I find a house that is in, I find a house that has a decent spread on it, and I'll go up to these real estate investors, and there's banks out there that do this too. Um, and what I end up doing is I'll pitch them. I found this house, purchase price is $100,000. Here's my contractor layout of $50,000. He said to get it 100% completed, it's going to cost about $50,000. I can show them by showing them comps of other properties that
Comps
sold.
is comparable, audience.
Yeah, so like there's another 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that's just like this right around the corner that sold for $250,000. So I can pitch that to a investor that's looking to deploy money. I pay them a really high interest rate, and you make your terms on whatever you want. So a lot of my private money comes with 100% purchase price, so nothing out of my pocket. They want me to start rehabbing the project with my own money. So we'll just say I start rehabbing the project, demoing it, whatever it is. I get through about $10,000 in materials and labor. I go ahead and send pictures to that investor that loaned me money. Once I show him that I spent about 10 grand and there's progress on the property, he will write me a check for that $10,000. And I take that 10 and I reinvest it back in the house. Once that's deployed, I keep on doing that all the way up until that $50,000 I asked for is finished. Then I'm broke even. There's no more money of mine in it. It's all the investor's money. And then I wait until it sells. So there's that way. And then some of these people ask for like interest only payments until you sell the house. You write up the contract 1 year. Most of my contracts are for 1 year, and if you pass that 1 year, there's a penalty. So, but again, my goal, especially with not having that many projects, is to have it done in 8 weeks, 3 months, 4 months, depending on the size of the house. If you go with the bank, you're just going to have a monthly interest payment that you have to pay the bank. So you don't have to get it done in a month, 2 months. You just make sure you can pay those monthly payments, and then hold on to the house until it's sold.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so after you got started, subsequent getting started, let's talk a little bit about this multi-unit that you did. I'm familiar with the multi-unit prior to your acquisition of it, and it was rough. I went and looked at it. I remember the porch was damaged and real dangerous. It was bricks falling off of it in the gangway. And this is near IU University, so this is probably going to be a good asset for you. So your strategy with this one is hold and keep?
Yep. So I after last year I flipped around 40 houses, I believe it was. Taxman's after me, so I decided to switch and convert strictly to 90% holds. So that 4-unit was actually my very first project that I bought in Gary. It scared me because I never bought in Gary. It was actually a very large project. It was a burnout. Floor joists were burnt out, holes in the floor all the way up through the roof. But yeah, we picked that up for $20,000. It's right next to, it's like 2 blocks away from IUN. It's probably been about a year and a half, and we're just now finishing it up. We kind of slow played, worked on it. Once we got to a certain point, like I think the plumbing was done, HVAC ductwork was done, and half electrical was done. That's when I pulled a lot more funding from the investors, and then we really jumped on it and tried to get it to the finish line.
The apartments in there is pretty big too, compared to my apartments. Yeah. So so what I like about big apartments on the big Gary abandoned buildings, I wish they didn't tear down so many between 11th and 15th Avenue on Connecticut. There used to be a lot of 3 units there in behind the old police station. But the reason why I like the large apartments is like in Chicago with the large apartments, you could put the furnace in the units because it's room
Yep.
to make a utility room in the units, and you
Yep.
don't have to put all the utility down in the basement to go
Yep.
upstairs to the unit. So that's my favorite thing about those large apartments. So what do you think your rent rates might be there for two bedrooms mostly?
No, so we have only one unit that's 2 bedroom.
Okay,
The other 3 are 3 bedrooms.
okay,
But right now we're debating on turning the largest unit. I think it's 1,800 square foot.
mm-hmm. Apartment now.
Yeah,
You have some
apartment.
homes that's not that.
Yeah, so it's an 1,800 unit. Yeah, it's wide open in there. So we were thinking we can break off part of the living room and turn it into a decent size bedroom to convert that into a 4 bedroom.
Okay,
And it would not take much away from.
the rest of the unit.
Yeah.
So you think the rent rate there might be about what, 13, 14 a month?
Yeah, so I have it. I just listed one today. I listed the cheapest one is the 2 bedroom. We have it listed for 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been posted for like 4 hours. I think I have 2 applications so far.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 bedroom top floor we just rented out. Well, we have a commitment. It's not 100% done, but we have a commitment by them. We already did all the screening on them. And that's $1,200 a month.
So I ask people to think about this. So let's say you were in a situation you had 3 units and you're averaging 1,100 a month, right? That's 3,300 a month. I don't think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it costs half of that to service or pay $100,000 loan.
Yeah,
Line of
no.
credit.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, rents are very, very high right now.
Mhm.
I don't understand it, but the last house we posted, even in Gary, was $1,500, and I want to say in a week we had 300
Application.
applications.
Yeah.
Now a
I
lot
say
of
that
them,
people don't believe me when I say that. They say to me, say, John, you don't have anything left over on Jackson Street, one of the little houses I could get for. I said, man, some of them houses going for $900 a month now.
yeah,
2 bedroom, 1 bath, 700 square feet.
yeah. Now a lot of those
No garage.
applications, I don't even know why a lot of those people applied.
Mhm.
Like a lot of them were Section 8, but even the non-Section 8 guys that applied,
Mhm.
they had no reason to apply. But there was, out of the 300, there was quite a few to choose from that that we would qualify to move in.
Yeah. So I think we need to do whatever we can as a region to get our incomes to go up, our production to go up, because nationally the cost of living is not going to be going down anytime soon. We have a caller?
Yeah.
Caller, how you doing? You're on the air with We the People.
All right, well, good day to both of you guys, yeah?
And how you doing?
Listening to your program, there's a lot of different properties in Gary that you could buy and fix, and not just Gary, but a lot of areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people do that and put good money into it, and just like with anything, you get those tenants in there. You're gonna take care of your property. You're gonna wind up spending more money to fix it back up to try to rent it to somebody else or sell it again. So you know how people do.
Yes.
They're tear it up.
Yes.
I know a couple of guys that got some properties on the west side, and one about after their a family of 4 had moved in, they wrecked the place. He put them out, and nowadays you got to go to court and all that. You just can't up and put people out of the house no more.
Mm.
And the next group of people he got in there, the lady had like about 6 or 7 kids, and her sister moved in with her, had 3 or 4, and they tore that place up. Now is it worth putting a new furnace and hot water heater and like you say, flooring and ceilings and all of this stuff? To me, some people can make good money, but you got a lot of them that's not going to make that type of money, and I mean, you'd be wasting your time. But I'm listening to this program, good program.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, caller. And I like for you to tune in every Thursday. Invite people you know to tune in to us every Thursday. We have a bunch of different issues too. So
Yeah, we all got ideas of trying to make a few bucks.
yes.
But,
Okay. It's break time, and we're going to be taking a break with We the People with John Allen and Mark Hutnick. Thanks a lot.
We're going to answer that question.
Nothing to ask. It's risk. You have risk. And at the end of that, it's been my experience. The longer I do this, the better I select the tenants.
Yeah. So, I mean, that people don't understand that.
Right.
Like, you need to do annual inspections. So we make excuses like,